So 3 years ago, I was working at Creative Edge, and we were in the process of looking for an on-camera talent. And I got the information of a young lady named Mary Bauer. I didn't know anything about her, but I called her up and we set up an interview. And I vividly remember the moment she walked in and she came around the corner, and I remember thinking, this is the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen. And at that point, I really didn't care how the interview went. I didn't care how well she performed. She had the job as far as I was concerned. So naturally, I hired her, and that's how our story began. I remember the first few times that she came, I just kept thinking, this girl has to be too good to be true. She was just insanely beautiful, intelligent, funny, I mean, completely goofy. And she just obviously had the entire package. But I remember thinking, I kept waiting for that moment where I realized that she was too good to be true. And not only did that moment never come, but she just continuously surprised me more and more with how genuine of a person she actually was. And I was just constantly blown away. So Mary and I worked together for a couple of years, and we spent a lot of time together. We developed a close friendship. And during that time, did I keep close tabs on her relationship status? Maybe. Did I somehow always make myself available when she was at the building for a video shoot? Maybe. I mean, I may have gone out of my way several times to make sure I was present. But at the end of the day, wherever she was, that's where I wanted to be. I eventually left Creative Edge and moved to St. Louis to attend law school at St. Louis University. And obviously Mary and I didn't have as much contact at that point, but I never stopped thinking about her. She always had just a special place in my heart. And she eventually also moved to St. Louis. And as much as I wanted to ask her on a date, as soon as I found out she lived in St. Louis, she was not available. So I waited, and I will never forget, it was a Wednesday morning. I was in the law school in a study room, and I just had like a gut feeling that I should check out her Facebook profile, not like a weird stalker kind of way, more of like just, an inquisitive way. Anyway, so I get on Facebook, and it turns out Mary Bauer is single. I may have had like a mini freak out in the study room with some like fist pumps in the air. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I wasted no time. I texted her that day and set up our first date. So our first date was awesome. I picked her up, and we got a little coffee, got a little chocolate. Talked for hours and had a great time. And I like to think that I swept her off her feet that night, but I think more realistically, it was about a week later. It was the next Friday night when Mary called me and asked me what I was doing. And obviously I had a lot of plans, but I quickly canceled them. And I invited her to come over and hang out for a bit. And I had this idea that I'd had for a really long time. There was a song that I wanted the two of us to sing together. And I had thought about this for months, and I had the song in my head. It's called Distance. And the lyrics of that song said all the things that I had always wanted to say to her. And so sure enough, that night, the two of us ended up playing music for hours and hours and hours. And we finally played that song, and it just seemed like in that moment, it was just an affirmation of what we both already knew, which was this was something really, really special. I'm not sure there is a specific moment where I realized that I was in love with Mary. As strange as it sounds, I think I always just knew that she was the one. And after the night we played music together, we spent every single day together, essentially. And there hasn't been a single day where I've doubted for a moment that this is the person that God made for me.
Hello, my name is Mary Bauer, and this is my story. 3 years ago, I walked into this building for a job interview with Creative Edge. In fact, I stood in this exact spot and read a script from this very teleprompter. During my audition, there was a charming young man named Travis that stood behind the camera while he tried his best to play it cool. Travis had butterflies in his stomach and his heart was pounding. After that day, he knew his life would never be the same. For years, Travis and I knew there was something special between us, and eventually God brought the two of us together. From that moment, Travis knew that he had found his best friend and the love of his life. Our time together has truly been extraordinary, so the only question now is, where does our story go from here?
Hi, Mary. I'll never forget the moment you walked into this building and I saw you for the first time, because that was the first time in my life that someone actually took my breath away. The time I spent with you has been the happiest time of my entire life, and I just want to say to you, thank you for finding me when you did, because you changed my life, and now I believe that your love is all that I need. I'm so excited to see what the future has in store for us, and with that in mind, could you please join me in the banquet hall?
I used to walk this town with my head hanging down. I felt so alone. I was so close to giving up, lost our hope and love. I was so far from home. Oh, so thank you for finding me when you did. 'Cause you changed my life, and now I believe that I found the one that God made for me. So I promise you now, with all that I am, that I'm yours forever, my love. I'm with you, you're right inside me. I feel you near, right here to guide me. I'm with you, you're right inside me to guide me home. So thank you for finding me when you did. 'Cause you changed my life, and now I believe that I found the one that God made for me. So I promise you now, with all that I am, that I'm yours forever, my love.
Hi, Mary.
Hi.
This is where we first met. This is where I realized that you were everything I always dreamed for, and so much more. And this is where I ask you to spend the rest of your life with me. I cannot be more in love with you. So with that in mind, marry Amanda Bauer. Will you marry me?
Yes. A million times, yes. Oh my God.
Can I surprise you? We've got a few guests as well.
Hi, Jason. Hi, Jason.
So did I surprise you?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Are you sweating a little bit?
Yep. Yep.
It is so beautiful. Do you all see this?
We did it!